Hi and welcome back to Sci-Fi Fans. I'm your host Wayne, and today I'd like to talk to you a bit more about Indiana Jones and the Indiana Jones franchise. Starting off with 1989's movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade gave us a little bit more of a family appeal to the franchise, even though the previous films were all family friendly, but we find out a little bit more about Indy and his life growing up, and this was after the TV show, which was called The Young Indiana Jones, had been aired. So we find out that Indiana Jones named himself after his pet dog, and his father was played by none other than Sean Connery. Now, there were one or two issues and conflicts with Sean Connery portraying Harrison Ford's dad, and I think I'll get to that a little bit later on with my trivia points. So anyway, without any further ado, here are my top 5 or 6 things that you didn't know about Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. The Indiana Jones movies are synonymous with animals as much as anything else. Now, in the previous films, they had to deal with problems with spiders not moving, so they introduced the female tarantula on set to kind of get the male tarantulas to move. Snakes, where they bought thousands of snakes and they actually used rubber hoses to simulate snakes in certain scenes. But for The Last Crusade, horses and rats are going to feature here. Starting off with the rats, over 2,000 rats were bred specifically for The Last Crusade, and this is because if they had used, if you like, everyday common rats, then there was a likelihood of them rats being contagious with diseases. So they bred the rats for Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade specifically. And I'd like to know what title or job title someone who breeds rats for movies is. So on to the next point. The final scene set outside of the temple features 4 horses. These 4 horses were the personal property of King Hussein of Jordan, and he actually loaned them to the production company for the film. Because of Steven Spielberg's commitment to Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, he had to drop out of 2 other projects. They were Tom Hanks's film Big and also Tom Cruise's film Rain Man. Ask anyone in show business and they will tell you the best things to avoid to work with are children and animals, for obvious reasons, I think, in some cases. But that's not the case for the Indiana Jones movies. As I've mentioned, animals have a prominent role in the film. 2 lions were used in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and that is because they were nervous and they got very jittery around the shaky sets and the flashing lights. The only film in the Indiana Jones franchise to actually be recognised by the Oscars was the first one, Raiders of the Lost Ark, but that hasn't stopped Oscar winners and Oscar nominations from being involved in the film. For The Last Crusade, you had Oscar winner Sean Connery and Oscar nominees River Phoenix and Harrison Ford, respectively. Another Oscar winner that's associated with the Indiana Jones franchise is quite obviously Steven Spielberg. But did you know that his favourite film out of all of the Indiana Jones films so far is The Last Crusade? That's it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining me here on YouTube. If you've enjoyed yourself here, and I take it you have because you're still watching me ramble on, then why not consider joining the podcast, which goes out every Monday, or why not join me on TikTok, which videos go out on a daily basis. Thank you again for your time, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.